Hi everyone. The story I picked for tonight is called Franklin is Messy. Do you remember what kind of animal Franklin is?
A turtle.
Turtle. Franklin could count forwards and backwards. He could zip zippers and button buttons. He could tie his shoes and count by twos. But Franklin was so messy that he could hardly ever find his things, even special things. One day, Franklin searched for his sword. It was special because he had made it himself from cardboard and wood and string. Franklin needed it to play knights in armor with his friends. He looked all over. He found a bag of marbles he thought he had lost. He found a brown apple core. He even found his favorite baseball hat, but he couldn't find his sword. "Have you seen my sword?" Franklin asked his mother. Franklin's mother looked around his room. She shook her head. "All I see is a big mess. Please tidy this room before you go out to play." Franklin muttered to himself, "Why all the fuss about a little mess?" He had more important things to worry about. He might miss playing knights. Franklin hurried. He opened his closet and heaped an armful of books inside. He piled all his blocks in the middle of his room, and he threw his hat in the corner and put the apple core in a drawer. "Ugh, all done," he said to himself. Still, he hadn't found his sword. He did not clean his room the right way.
He just threw stuff on the floor.
Yeah. By the time Franklin reached Bear's house, his friends were already playing knights. Bear slashed the air with his sword. Beaver lunged at evil dragons. "Hurry, Franklin," shouted Bear. "We need you." That looks fun. They're using their imagination.
Yeah.
"I can't," whispered Franklin. The game stopped. "Why not?" they asked. "I don't have my sword," said Franklin. Bear was disappointed. "But how can we play knights without swords?" he asked. Franklin looked around. He found a stick on the ground. "I'll use this," he said. They fought dragons all afternoon. "Tomorrow," said Franklin, "I'll have my own sword. Then we can save Lady Beaver from a fire-breathing dragon." "We are courageous, Sir Franklin," and Sir Bear. Beaver slapped her tail down hard. "I don't want to be saved. I want to be a brave knight too." "All right," said Franklin. "You can be Sir Lady Beaver, and together we will save the king." "You'll need your special sword," said Bear. "Of course," said Franklin. When Franklin got home, his father was annoyed. "I found this in your drawer," he said, holding the apple core. "That is not where it belongs." "And I found this hat on the floor, and that is not where it belongs either." Franklin threw the apple in the garbage and hung up his hat. Why all the fuss about a little mess? Goose came by looking for a puzzle she had loaned to Franklin. "Can I please have my puzzle back?" she said. Franklin looked. His room was such a mess that he couldn't see the puzzle among the books and crayons and blocks. "Maybe it's in my closet," said Franklin. Franklin opened the closet door. It was messy in there too. He stepped inside. Crunch! It was a very loud noise. Franklin's parents came rushing in. "Are you all right?" they asked. "I'm all right," said Franklin, "but my sword isn't." He held up the shattered pieces. "What a mess," Franklin said sadly. "Maybe you'll need more places to put your things," said Franklin's mother. They found boxes in the basement. They painted them and named them. Toy box, puzzle box, costume box, and block box. They put books on the bookshelf, and they put a special hook on the back door for a new sword. See how organized they made his room?
Yeah.
The tidying up took a long time, but it wasn't so bad because Franklin found lots of things he thought he'd lost. Goose's puzzle, his own favorite purple crayon, and enough cardboard, wood, and string to make a new sword and even a shield. The next morning, Franklin dressed in full armor. He was especially proud of his new shield. It said, "Sir Franklin, loyal and brave." "Sir Franklin," said his mother, "I think you forgot something." Franklin's mother whispered in his ear. Franklin smiled. They took a crayon and added 2 more words to his shield. Sir Franklin, royal, loyal, and brave, and neat. That was cute. It's important to keep your room clean, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't lose stuff.
Right. And the Bible story tonight is from Exodus 11 and 12, the 10th plague. Moses went to see Pharaoh with a new message. God says this to you: every firstborn son in Egypt will die tonight. There will be great crying and wailing. Only the Hebrew sons will be spared, because God will protect the Israelites. Then Moses left the palace. Moses told the Israelites to mark their houses with lamb's blood. Their houses would be passed over when the plague came. That night at midnight, the plague came over the land. All of the firstborn sons of Egypt died. But the people that put blood on their doors, their sons were saved, weren't they?
Yeah.
Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron. He was broken and sad, for his own firstborn son had died. "Go," he said, "leave my people. Take your flocks and herds and go." The Israelites left in a hurry. They took pans of bread dough, for they did not have time to add the yeast and bake the bread. On their way, they stopped and asked people to give them clothing and gold and silver. The Egyptians gave the Israelites everything they could, and God had put sympathy in their hearts. Well, I hope you liked the story tonight, and remember to keep your room clean so you don't lose stuff and break stuff, right?
Yeah.
Good night.